because TACP school gives you the most basic of knowledge. Getting back to your unit and going through the syllabus to get designated is where a lot of guys start picking up, their actual like skills and stuff that's needed to be a good JTAC. And you didn't get any of that. You were just thrown right into the freaking fire.
Yeah, and then that within the first month, we went live with Cass. I don't know. I don't think Calo ever dropped. Maybe he did, but anyways, they were nervous, and I don't blame them. Like the company commander, and it was type 2 from the talk. 2 squads were out, and section of skids, and we ran them. We ran them twice. But after that, it was okay. I can do this, and I'm gonna do this. But was
it like an ambush situation? Were they guys troops in contact or something?
Yeah, they were. They were basically pinned in a field, and the guys were in a tree line, and so we just ran. It wasn't a mixed section. It was both Cobras, and we ran just guns and rockets, and basically cleaned out that tree line, and then brought them around for a reattack, and ran them again.
Nice, that's good. Yeah, that first control or whatever is always going to be like, oh shit.
Yep.
Here we go. Don't
and I wasn't
fuck
actually
up.
out there, so I guess that helped a little bit. I was in the talk running type 2, but
it might be worse to be in the talk when you're running when you're doing a control, because everybody and their brother shows up.
Oh yeah.
Everybody comes out of the woodwork. The S4 Alpha is standing in the back.
Yep.
So
and everybody wants to be around your little video scout.
Yeah. Everybody's watching, the pressure's on and stuff like that. Obviously the pressure's on and stuff when you're out on foot patrols and stuff, but it's a completely different environment.
Yeah, and then when clear hot comes out of your mouth, man, that doesn't make or break you. It's
for real. It's for real.
It gets real quick.
A lot of people are on the line, like you got JAG signs off on it, the CO, XO, or OPSO signs off on it, you as the JTAC signs off on it, the aircraft signs off on it. And once those rounds go down range, man, it's no taking them back, Yeah, that's pretty wild. Did you ever have a situation where you had to, like, call off an aircraft? Like, hey, abort, you're hitting the wrong building, or you're anything like that?
No, but I did have to... I had an aircraft switch cold. That started being a thing in, like, 2012.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Shift cold.
Shift cold, okay. Thank you. So the AC-130 Whiskey model, they carried those, what were the laser-guided munitions they were carrying?
The Hellfires?
No, basically,
I'm not sure.
It basically sat in a pallet, and it was
it's
the same, dropping it like out the back.
It's the same thing that the Harvest Hawk was carrying, I think. It was almost like a javelin.
Yeah.
Right?
Anywho, yeah.
Anyways.
It was laser-guided munition, and these we were tracking a motorcycle with 2 dudes that had just hit us, and the Whiskey was keeping track of them with their pod, and we had already ran everything and sent this thing off the rails, and these guys went in a tree line, and basically the pilot called shift cold because he didn't want to put that thing in the tree line and not know what else was down there.
So where did it hit?
They just put it out in the desert.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's a controversial thing that started happening, and it was an Air Force policy. Yep. I know the Marine Corps came out and specifically was like, no Marine pilots will shift off the target unless directed to by someone within the kill chain like process. Because that's, So what? And for people who don't know what we're talking about, they're lasing the target. Something occurs that they think could be an issue. So they call shift cold, and they move their laser elsewhere to somewhere, supposedly a safe spot, and the round hits there instead of what you were going for. The issue with that is that the commanding officer or whoever, the big 3 that approve these kind of missions are signing off on that mission and a specific they're signing off on what's happening, like what's occurring there. And when you deviate from that, you're kind of taking responsibility into your own hands. You're saying the CO doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm moving the round over here, which there's an issue with that because situational awareness, maybe the aircraft doesn't know anything. There may be situations where it's justified. Hey, dude just ran into an orphanage. I'm not going to drop a bomb on that. But, yeah, that happened one time on one of our deployment, or I think on my 3-6 deployment. We had an aircraft do the same thing, that they shifted off the target.
What was kind of funny, though, is... Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It still killed the guy. What happened was we were tracking him, and he was heading home, basically. and he parked outside of his compound a decent distance away. It was kind of weird that he parked that far away from it, and rockets in the air, or rounds on its way, and like his kid, I think his kid came running out of the compound like, "Daddy's home," and they shifted down to drop it to fall short, but it still fell short and fragmented into the guy and stuff like that. But that we thought for a second, the first thing the OPSO was like, "Dude, did we just fucking kill a kid?" And because when it first hits, there's all that dust and smoke, and you can't see anything and everything. But the kid was okay. It was just a fucked up situation,
Yeah.
But
yeah, after they shifted to gold, so they were about to go off station. I had another AC-130 coming on. I guess that would have been the uniform model. It had the 25, the 40, and the 105. Or no, that would have been the hotel Spectre. Anyways, they were coming on station. So, and it was one of those, they were checking in and basically, hey, hold your position, attack in progress, and then we'll bring you into the stack. And so that happened, and these guys come in, and literally they're just switching in the stack. AC-130 whiskey's going off, and the other AC-130 is coming on, and we start getting hit from, right about where that tree line is in the same compound, and real quick 5-line, and those 40 Mike and 25, they basically drew a line inside the compound walls. Just, all right, we'll let the big boys take over.
The accuracy of those things are crazy.
Oh, it is, and I can only imagine like what went on the debrief afterwards between the two crews, because they clearly they both heard that whole thing. It's like, we'll come in and take care of this.
I think one of the crews told me that their closest engagement that they had was within 10 meters. It was basically a SEAL team on one side of a wall and the bad dudes on the other side of the wall. And they engaged them on the other side of the wall, and they were fine. Yep. I'm like, that's fucking crazy.
They are insanely accurate, and I have a great appreciation for the 64s and their 30 Mike. We actually had to run final attack headings that were pointed right at us. And I didn't want to do it at any and all costs, because it was only about 100-meter engagement.
Oh, man.
And now throw in the ricochet fan and everything. And these guys are telling me, they're that confident. They're like, we recommend these final attack headings, because these guys were shooting through a wall. And if we would have did the other final attack headings, all the rounds would have just been hitting the wall. It wouldn't have been effective at all. And they're like, let us come in from this angle. And they took all 3 dudes out with precision. Like, no ricochets, nothing. It was basically, I told the guy, I got on my team net, and you get your heads down.
Yeah.
And the team leader's like, run it, because these guys are pinning everybody down. And, dude, they right in that corner of that building took out all 3 dudes. We watched the footage post-mission and everything, and, they are freaking accurate.
That had to be sketchy as fuck feeling.
Yeah, I didn't like it, but that ended up being a good learning point going after we got back to CONUS and everything. Just talking with people, and yeah, you can do this. It's not ideal. We did it because we really didn't have any options, and we didn't want to. It was at the point we didn't want to drop the building next to it or anything, and the 30 millimeter was plenty effective. We just had to get the right heading.
Yeah. And if they elevate far enough, if they go high enough, they can shoot down to make that angle.
Yeah, they pretty much climbed to 1400 and then drop down.
Okay. Yeah, I like 64s. I don't like necessarily how they fly them sometimes. I think they're like slower, and they like to hover and shit. Compared to, I just like Cobras and Hueys, man.
I gotcha.
The accuracy is way high on a 64 though.
Yeah, most of the AWT, when I was out of Shindan, we had the National Guard 64s right there, and we got to know them really well. We'd go over with them all the time. They'd come over, hang out with us, and like mission briefs, we were either with them or they were with us. We got to know these guys really well. They didn't hesitate to shoot for us, and we just had a really good relationship. And then that was the first drop of that deployment. Yeah. And that wasn't even before the whole team was there. That was during the turnover. First one. Final attacking is right at myself. This is gonna be great. But it worked out. It was what needed to be done. It ended the fight.
Yeah.
But
I guess you got into it a little early, so you're not,
Yeah.
bust a rust a little bit, ready to go.
Yep.
Did you know Gagnon?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be a Apache pilot now.
Is he? Nice.
Yeah, he I think he was an honor grad for his flight school.
No shit.
So shout out to him, man. Good luck out there.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, he did the
luck.
warrant officer program. It was one of those things where I think people just get tired of the bullshit, man.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like...
Well, I mean, I considered it before I went over to MARSOC. That's what I was looking into.
I know you had mentioned that, yeah. And I think coming from a unit like that, where you come from MARSOC, where it's like expectations are high, everybody there wants to be there, or, you know, the level of professionalism is a lot higher than you're going to have. And the mission's very different than like you'd have if you were at like a battalion, like an artillery battalion and stuff like that. And I can imagine coming back from there, from MARSOC or Raiders, whatever you want to call it, and come back to an artillery battalion would be a tough transition.
Yeah.
You know, where you have the freedom to just go work. And I think that's what a lot of people just get so fucking tired of in the military. It's like, let me just go do work, man. You want to have me out here doing bullshit just because, oh, hey, the general's coming tomorrow. Let's clean everything up way more than we'd ever have it to show off. You know, like, dude, we got a range going on, or we got something... Is it important or is it not important? And I think guys get tired of that. So I can see coming back from a unit like MARSOC into like a conventional unit and being like, dude, this sucks. So having that option to go to the Army and fly as a warrant officer, I bet there's a lot of ability to, like, you know, obviously you have stuff you have to do, but once you're flying, man, it's up to you and the guy you're flying with.
Oh, yeah, and for like a guy like that, I mean, you already know the ground side of the house when it comes to close air support.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that's cool. I think that's a really cool option that a lot of people do. I've had multiple people hit me up about trying to go over to the Air Force.
Become CCTs?
And become JTAC or CCTs over in the Air Force, you know, because they're like, they give them bonuses. You know, I think they get like an annual bonus. They get extra, or they get a bonus every month just for being qualified. And like I think the longer you have the qualification, the bigger your bonus is. And that's all they do. You know, you don't have to worry about, oh, I'm leaving ANGLICO, or oh, I'm leaving 10th Marines and they're taking away my JTAC qual. Now I'm just going to be a fires chief. You know, not that there's anything wrong with fires chiefs, but I mean, if I had the choice to do one or the other. You know, I'm obviously...
Yeah, I got lucky. I didn't really have to deal with any of that crap.
Yeah, you rolled right into, like I said before, you went from TACP school to deployment, and then how long was it? Like a month or so after you got back from deployment when you got contacted, or you contacted MARSOC, whatever, and...
Yeah, they, the fires platoon chief over there was looking for JTACs, and primarily ones that had already had a deployment, and well, I was fresh off of one as JTAC, and yeah, I mean, it was no issue. He pulled me right over. And I was like, well, what about my re-enlistment papers? Because something got mixed up when we were in Marjah, and basically he's like, I'll make you a boat space. And he did.
That's sick.
Now, I didn't get a bonus or anything. I got the honor to serve, but he's like, is there anything you want to do? I said, I want to, oh yeah. I was like, I just want to jump out of an airplane, man. He's like, good, then you're going to jump school. I'm like, okay, I'm good.
Sweet. Yeah, you mentioned in the last podcast that you really like jumping out of planes.
I did, and then I got
bummed.
I did, and then second MSOB, I got put on the jump team, and so yeah, it was one of those things I just really enjoyed. But
you never got to go to the free fall school?
No.
That's a bummer. How many static line jumps did you get?
Honestly, I had to look at the book. I don't know, because we would do at least one a month once I went over there.
Did you guys, or since you've been out, have you gone skydiving or anything like that?